Okay, well, thank you for coming. This session is being recorded, and what I'm going to talk about tonight is an extra credit opportunity that I have set up here. Um, you probably got this from the classroom bulletin board. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can see my PowerPoint now. Is that correct? Okay. All right. So I'm offering up some extra credit to you guys because it's about this time of the year that students just, start thinking about and wanting extra credit. And let's see. Probably by the 7th. Okay, so what I'm proposing that we do is, and I'll post this PowerPoint in the class. I want you to choose one of the units that we have studied in this course and create a multimedia presentation. Okay, so what is multimedia? What do I mean by that? Well, you can have a PowerPoint with a recording along with it. You can do a Prezi, you can do a Powtoon, VoiceThread, or if you know of another tool that you want to use, just let me know what it is and you can use that. Okay, so what needs to be included in the presentation? Well, I have some criteria here. For the unit that you choose, I would like for you to describe and add media. That means images and audio, video, some kind of media, either all of that or some of that, or some kind of combination of that. And then for the unit, I want you to give me the who, what, when, where, why. Who's affected by it? What happened? Why is it important? Where does it happen, or where did it happen? And what are the significant results of this information? Okay, so obviously I'm being very broad here. Okay, I'm being broad so you can be broad. Okay. I'm really just allowing you to you can focus on, one or two things in a unit, or you can just make some generalizations. Okay. What will the extra credit do for you? Or, what something will you get in return for this? Well, I'm offering up the opportunity to replace 2 tests or project grades. Okay, so the idea is you don't do one of these extra credit projects and get 2 grades replaced. You do one and one will get replaced. You do another and I'll replace another grade for you. So you have the opportunity to do this 2 times, okay, and therefore get 2 grades replaced. Okay. In order to receive the extra credit, you have to complete all parts of the project. In other words, you have to answer all of this in this format, okay, in a multimedia format with images and audio, or images and video, or audio and video, any combination. So it has to be a presentation using one of these multimedia tools, and you have to have media in it, okay? Didn't put this in. I think I'm going to say here December 7th. Okay, so I'm giving you lots of time to work on this. All right. What do I have here? Oh, so tools to use. Okay, and not only am I going to show you the tools to use, we'll also look at the different units that I'm talking about. But here are a few tools. Are either one of you familiar with any of these tools? Prezi and PowerPoint? Prezi and PowerPoint. Okay. If you're feeling adventurous, I would encourage you to maybe give one of the others a try. I'm going to demonstrate some for you. Okay. First of all, before we go any further, when I talk about units, what I'm talking about is one of the units that we've studied this semester. So in our case, it's going to be concepts of in AP Comparative Government, sovereignty, authority, and power, political institutions, citizen society and the state, or political and economic change. Okay, so you'll choose one of these units to do a presentation on, and you can do that 2 times. You can, then choose another one, and I'll let you replace up to 2 test grades. Okay, and like I said, each one of these units is very broad. They have a lot of stuff within them. So really, and I'm doing that so you can, make the project your own. You can focus on one component of these units. You can focus on your core country. You can focus on another core country. I'm really just making it as broad as I can, so you can have an easier time trying to get this completed. Are there any questions so far? Okay. Well, let me show you VoiceThread. Now, VoiceThread is a kind of like a discussion board, except you can put audio and video in it, okay? And how I got here is just very simple, voicethread.com, okay? And you do have to create an account, and you need an email to create an account. I would suggest just making an email up in Gmail or something like that to use to gain access to VoiceThread. It's a free tool. You don't have to pay anything to use it. But of course, the number of VoiceThreads you can create is limited because it's the free account. Okay, so voicethread.com. Now let me show you what you can do with VoiceThread. Here's a VoiceThread that I made for students to learn how to be a good digital citizen. Okay, so let me play it for you real quick. Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk to you about being a good digital citizen. Alright, so what you see here is, actually I did a PowerPoint slide, and when you put it in VoiceThread, it separates out each slide. And on each slide, you have the ability, if you click on this little plus sign right here, you can talk over it. That's what I did. That's why you see my comment right there. Or you can use a webcam to talk about the slide. You can also phone it in, like a voicemail, something like that, or you can write text, okay? The music that you heard in the background, I was just playing some music, so there is no audio track on here. But what you do is you put your PowerPoint slide in VoiceThread and it separates it out so you can make these comments on each slide. Now what happens is when you share it with the person, okay, they can come in behind you and they can make audio comments on this. Okay, so it's kind of cool in that way. I'll show you another slide. To me, there are 3 important character traits that make up a good citizen. So by acting responsibly and respectfully, you'll enjoy your time online and get the best of the internet, and mostly avoid those things like cyberbullying and inappropriate content. Okay, so you kind of get the idea of what happened here. Now, I had a student a couple of semesters ago. She kind of did this. I don't know if this was extra credit or not, but anyway, she was a part of my European history class, and she did a VoiceThread on surrealist art. And she did the same thing. She just made a PowerPoint slide.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Augustine, and my presentation is on surrealist and data art.
So you have the ability down here to record. It's super easy. You can even, they have doodle tools, okay, that you can write on the slides, okay. So it's kind of a fun little tool. It's not that difficult to learn and understand. You can also add video to these tools, to these voice threads. So if you're looking for something to use and maybe want to do something a little bit different, something that's not really hard to learn, give VoiceThread a try. Okay, so that's VoiceThread. The next one is Powtoon, and also you get to Powtoon by going to powtoon.com. You do need to create an account with an email, but it's free. Okay, and the good thing about Powtoon is an animation creator. But the good thing about Powtoon is this: they have these templates that all you have to do is go in and change the words, and they look very professional, like you're a real graphic artist or something, when really all you did was change the words. I'll give you an example, or show you an example of one. This is one that I did a few years ago when I was teaching students about netiquette. I can go here. Okay, I'm sure you'll agree with me that was very impressive, yes? Okay, if I'm being honest, I have to say I can't really take credit for anything except the words. I had no control over the music or, when things came in and out. It was a template. And so really all I did was add words to this. Okay, so Powtoon has lots of different templates that you might want to experiment with. And so what I would encourage you to, do something, give it a try. Like I said, free with an email setup. And they may be limited on how many Powtoons you can create, but they have these templates. Or if you're really adventurous and you want to be a graphic artist, you can create a Powtoon from scratch. Okay, and that takes a little more time, but it's doable. They have all kinds of neat stuff that you can do. You can choose different settings. Like it has modern edge, there's the whiteboard, cartoons and whatnot, infographic. You can choose something, and then it's just, this sort of acts like a PowerPoint slide as well, because your slides, filter out right here. And you can bring different people in, like you can say, I don't know, this is one I kind of like right here. These guys, and you can bring him over, but you can make him, whoops, like this. He can have an idea. He can be happy. He can be sitting. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But you kind of get where I'm going with this, okay? Check it out. You have a long time, about a month to get this done. So, it might be something that you want to do, okay? So that's Powtoon. Both of you are familiar with Prezi, as most people are. This is a presentation that one of my students in my AP European History class did on the absolute ruler. And that when you do this, you can add media, different images and whatnot, and then different kinds of information. And I'm just advancing through the slides here. I'm really, if you were to see my mouse, I'm hitting this arrow right here. Again, Prezi is free with an email setup. All of these tools provide a link, that you can post in a discussion, a Dropbox. That's how you'll turn it into me. Okay. This is kind of neat, you can be creative with this. I'm just really going through it really fast. Okay. So that's Prezi. We all kind of know about Prezi. The last one I want to show you is PowerPoint. And both of you said that you're familiar with PowerPoint. So, but what you can do with PowerPoint, and I'm recording this so people who maybe couldn't come to the session tonight, they'll be able to take a look at this and kind of get where I'm going. So I have a PowerPoint here about food art, okay? Things like this, look a little Snoopy, isn't that cute? And then a sandwich with a face, and then a Rubik's Cube. So what I can do is I can do a voiceover on this. Like here, I've put a voiceover, and I'll play it. Hey, this is my PowerPoint on food art. Okay, and it's real easy to put a voiceover on. So all I do is I come up here to my insert button and come over here to audio, and then I just hit record audio, and this comes up, and I hit the red button for record, and now you see it's recording. This is a really cool food art with Snoopy over a campfire. Okay, and then you hit the stop button, and then you name this soundbite right here. Okay, and then you click insert. It usually inserts on the center of the page, and maybe you don't want it there. When you see your mouse in that 4-directional arrow right there, you can move the little speaker. Okay, and then you can just play it back. Snoopy is cute. Now you see it's recording. This is a really cool food art with Snoopy over a campfire. Okay, and then you hit the stop. Okay, and so then you can, for this, you can put something on the PowerPoint slide and then talk about what's on the slide, okay? Yeah, these people who created this food art were very talented artists, okay? And so you can do a recording for each slide that you have. And so those are just a few of the tools that you can use. If you know of a tool that kind of fits in with this and you want to use that tool, that's perfectly fine. I'm more than happy for you to use it and show it to me. What I'm really going to be looking for is that you've chosen one of the units we've studied in this course, okay? And you've put it in some kind of multimedia presentation. All right, and you've pretty much answered these questions. And like I said, I'm going to repeat this. I've made it broad enough for you to be able to speak generally about these content units. Or if you want to be a little more specific in your unit, that's fine. You can do that as well. If you want to talk about your core country or all the core countries as a whole, feel free. But these are the different areas that need to be covered in your PowerPoint. Okay. What will you get for this? Well, for each project, so if you want 2 test grades replaced, you have to do 2 projects, 2 presentations. Okay. Which probably wouldn't be a bad thing, right? You could do one in Powtoon and the other in VoiceThread or something like that. And both of these are due December 7th. Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, so the final exam. Well, Billy, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. So the final exam, what I think I will do, because I don't know if you've noticed, but this class is it's not a new class. We've taught it before, but this design of this class is new. It's the first time it's been taught. So I think probably what I'm going to do is maybe prepare a study guide for you guys. I will say that the final exam will consist of the same type of multiple choice questions that you have had in your multiple choice question exams all semester. Okay, and most of you, believe it or not, have done really, really well on the multiple choice tests. It's either that most people get somewhere in the 90s, or they don't pass it at all. Which tells me is you've either read the book or you didn't. Okay. But I'm going to probably be coming up with a study guide for that, because I know if it's a comprehensive exam, you don't even know where to begin. So, okay, good. Yeah, so that's a good question. What happened? Yes. Exactly, Haley. By what happened, refer to some kind of event. Maybe something that, like, if you chose sovereignty, authority, and power, by what happened, you may want to mention the collapse of the Soviet Union, right? If you're doing Russia. Okay, because that was like a turning point. Maybe a better term, and I can put this kind of like a turning point, something significant that happened. That's a great question, Haley. Thank you. Are there any more questions? Great. I'm glad you thought so, Haley. Well, as always, that's all I have for you guys tonight. But as always, if you have any questions or need any additional information, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Billy. Rithik? Rithik, can you hear me?